Hey, what's going on, all my people out there in YouTube land? It's your boy AG the Assassin, representing that flawless victory, gaming and entertainment. And what I'm trying to do right now is I'm trying to do something new. As I'm looking to expand Flawless's repertoire into other areas, I'm trying to see if possibly our viewers, our subscribers, and everything will be interested in me doing reviews on WWE programming. So this is my attempt to do reviews on WWE programming. So we're going to check this out, see how the response is from you, the viewers and the subscribers. And if I get enough good feedback on it, then we'll go ahead. Keep in mind, I'm doing these reviews. These are my opinions of what happened. These are not facts or anything like that. These are just my honest opinions. If you agree with me, you're more than welcome to leave a comment below. If you disagree with me, you're more than welcome to leave a comment below. I'm always open for discussion. I always want to talk this out with everybody because I love wrestling. Wrestling is just something that I've loved since I was a kid, and it just stuck with me as an adult. You know, I'm not no dummy. I know how things are with wrestling nowadays and everything, but it's just good, wholesome family entertainment. So here we go. As I sit here and I'm trying to pull up the actual card from last night. In case you don't know, last night was WWE TLC, a Raw branded event, and it didn't have a lot of matches on the card, but for the most part, it was still a pretty good showing. Just as a heads up, and again, if you're not aware, two matches were altered at the very last minute. One was the 5-on-3 handicap TLC match, which Roman Reigns could not participate in. So Kurt Angle inserted himself into that match. And then, of course, Bray Wyatt was unable to compete. So WWE Raw brought in AJ Styles from SmackDown to compete against the Demon Finn Balor. All right. So we're going to start from the bottom, and we're going to work our way to the top. Bottom being the Kickoff Show. Kickoff Show started off, you know how the Kickoff shows go. They review all of the matches and everything, and then they have one or two matches on the Kickoff Show, which they only had the one match, which saw Sasha Banks going up against Alicia Fox. Now, by all means, I understand what they're trying to do as far as making some of the older wrestlers seem legitimate, which the one that they're exceeding expectations is with Mickie James, in my opinion. All the other old female wrestlers are just, honestly, in my opinion, jobbers. They're there to put over the new female wrestlers. That's all I got to say about that. Like I said, with the exception of Mickie James. Because Mickie James, since she's came back, she's shaped up very nicely. I don't know if you remember when she first came back. I think inside the little cage match, she had the whole bodysuit on. Then the next night, she kind of showed her figure a little bit, which wasn't too appealing, per se. But you look at her last night, and I mean, she totally toned her body all the way up. Her in-ring ability has never faltered, in my opinion. She's always had a good move set and great ring presence. And then not to mention her mic skills. Since she left WWE, her mic skills have just blossomed. And it's just, in my opinion, she's probably the best mic worker as far as the females go. In WWE right now. Hands down, in my opinion. Again, that's just my opinion. But I digress. Like I said, Kickoff Show started off with Sasha Banks and Alicia Fox. It was an okay match. Uh, Alicia Fox dominated for most of the match, hitting a lot of her signature moves, the backbreakers, all of that. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I want to say she hit the scissors kick or attempted it, and then got it countered with Sasha Banks eventually hitting the little backstabber into the bank statement and forcing Alicia Fox to tap out. This match was where it's supposed to be. It was on the Kickoff Show, so it was right where it's supposed to be. Not the best match. I almost was kind of rooting for Alicia Fox a little bit just to get her over. I think it would have meant more for Alicia Fox to really do it. And that's really all I have to say about that. Move up to the start of the actual pay-per-view. And the first match on the deck, Emma versus Asuka. Now, I had the entire notion that Asuka was just going to come in and basically murder Emma. That's just what I had in my pre-match thoughts. I was like, this is going to be a massacre. They've basically sent Emma to the slaughter. I have no problem admitting when I was wrong. Emma put on a nice performance. Emma had a lot of good spots, and for the most part, she did not botch any of her moves, or she didn't botch any of Asuka's moves, which I have to give kudos to Emma. This was more of a good match for Emma than it was for Asuka. We expect good matches out of Asuka, but Emma really showed up to play. Dominated a good portion of the match. The only thing that would mess me up is Asuka really didn't get to show off a lot of her signature moves. Like, I was dying to see her do the flying armbar so bad. But she got off the little sliding running knee, the little hip attack that she does. Of course, she made Emma tap out with the Asuka lock. Which, again, like I said, man, the match itself was really good. I just wish I could have seen a little bit more from Asuka, but I was still very, very pleased with the match. Moving on, I believe the next match was Cedric Alexander and Rich Swann versus Jack Gallagher and the Brian Kendrick. Now, let me start off by saying I am such a big fan of Jack Gallagher now that he's a heel, because they took him out of his wrestling trunks and put him into like a British bully type outfit, to where he's, as my friend Mike would say, throwing up fisticuffs, as you will. And I love his new look, and pairing him with Brian Kendrick is just completely awesome because I love Brian Kendrick as a wrestler. But hands down, they're probably going up against two of the biggest names in NXT. I mean, not NXT. Pardon me. In 205, Cedric Alexander and Rich Swann. Which, me personally, I am a big Cedric Alexander fan. I believe he does not deserve to be on 205. He needs to be on the main roster, doing what he does, and getting his limelight, getting his time in the limelight. He doesn't need to be on 205. He's a bigger star than 205, and hopefully WWE will wise up and get him on the main stage really soon. But a good back and forth match, which eventually ended with Cedric Alexander hitting the lumbar check. Which, by the way, outside of the RKO and the Eclipse from Ember Moon, the lumbar check is the best move in WWE today, hands down. And that is the best, just from his setup to his delivery of the move. Everything is flawless. And just shout out to Sid. I cannot praise his name enough of how good of a wrestler he is. I mean, I loved him in Ring of Honor, but I absolutely love how he's performing in WWE. And like I said, hopefully the big wigs upstairs will hear the praises that I'm giving him and put this man in the spotlight where he deserves to be. I don't really have too much to say about the match because honestly, truly, I really didn't watch the whole match. Like I left out like midway through the match. But from what my boy Ancient and my boy Mike was telling me, it was a really good match, especially the ending. The ending was really good. So I might go back and watch it again, just to say I watched it. Let's see. I believe I want to talk about the little segments from what's your boy's name? Elias Sampson. And I'm going to talk about all three of them just to get it out the way. And then we'll talk about the dark match that happened right before the main event. But basically, I believe earlier in the day during the Kickoff Show, Jason Jordan had an interview, and Elias Sampson really interrupted him during his interview. So Jason Jordan trying to pay him back while Elias was trying to perform for the people. Jason Jordan hysterically just comes out with a big basket of fruits and vegetables and just starts chucking them at Elias Sampson. Quite possibly, probably the funniest thing he's done since he's jumped to Raw. I thought it was highly entertaining. Many people, may not think that way because, hey, Jason Jordan, they're trying to force Jason Jordan down everybody's throat because he's Kurt's son, supposedly, blah, 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 whatever. So he does that the first time. Elias comes back out a second time, tries it again, then Jason Jordan does the same thing with the fruit, keeps chucking at him, won't let him get his song out. And then that eventually led to impromptu match that happened later on, which we will discuss when we get to it. But now that I got that out the way, I believe the next match was the Cruiserweight Championship match, which saw the champion Callisto up against the former champ Enzo Amore. 205 is probably the best thing that could have happened to Enzo Amore. And one, it allows him to turn heel, which any good mic worker, if you're a heel, you basically have free reins to say whatever you want to say. And Lord knows, in this day and age, in this generation of wrestling, Enzo Amore is the best mic worker in the business. Hands freaking down. There is nobody better on the mic than Enzo Amore. And he's proven that time and time again. Nobody can touch him on that mic. Probably a close second might be on the New Day. It's a close second, but I still put Enzo over them. But anyway, Enzo versus Callisto. It was a typical face-heel match to where, everybody rags on Enzo for not being able to wrestle. But he had some decent spots. I can remember the one spot to where Callisto was in the corner and Enzo grabbed him by the legs. You know, usually when like somebody will grab him by the legs and just lift you up and just slam you down. No, Enzo grabbed him by the legs, lifted him up, and caught him in a side suplex position and just slammed him down. Like, I thought that was pretty innovative. Also, another spot is Enzo jumping off of the top rope to hit that little flying DDT thing that he does off the top rope, which is always spectacular to me. Callisto getting his movesets off as well. The little rollover kick thing that, sorry, he stole from Johnny Wrestling. I don't care what they say, but he stole that from Johnny Wrestling. But, and several attempts at Salida del Sol to no avail. Finally, he got the referee distracted as Callisto's coming in to pick him up. Enzo hits him with a thumb to the eye. Callisto tries to swing back but can't really see him. And that allows Enzo Amore to hit Callisto with Eat Defeat. 1, 2, 3. Your new 2-time Cruiserweight champion, Enzo Amore. And by all means, again, like I said, it wasn't the most spectacular match, but damn it if it wasn't the funniest. Good grief. 205 would be dying right now if it was not for Enzo Amore. And that's just the honest to God truth, man. That guy brings 205 to life with his mic work. And until they get some bigger names up there, which everybody, it's a couple of people that's supposed to come up that's supposed to help out with 205. I'm mainly looking forward to Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa to come up, but they have to settle their feud in NXT first, which hopefully he'll be back here in a little bit, Tommaso Ciampa, off of that jaw injury, so they can finish that feud up. But like I said, outside of that, like I said, a very highly entertaining match. Like I said, not the best match, but highly entertaining. Next match was probably the disappointment for the night for me. The women's championship match between Alexa Bliss and Mickie James. Now, here's the problem that I have with the way that WWE books their matches. I don't understand what the purpose is for you to build Mickie James up so good and make her look so dominant over Alexa Bliss and to have her lose to a standard DDT. Honestly, for that matter, I don't like Mickie James when she does her little DDT, a little jumping DDT. I hate that. I believe the DDT should not be a finisher for anybody. Had Alexa Bliss hit, what is it called? Twisted Bliss. Had she hit Twisted Bliss and won with that, I probably would not be so mad about it. But because she didn't hit Twisted Bliss and she just hit that stupid DDT, it just messed up my whole night. I mean, Mickie James was pretty dominant during most of that match, up until the latter part of the match. And then she did this one move to where she caught Mickey's arm on the top rope. And then another instance to where Mickie was coming towards her, towards the corner, because she was sitting there scared in the corner. And then she just pulled Mickie James into the buckle on the same bad arm and messed that up. And then she hits the DDT. 1, 2, 3. Alexa Bliss is still the champion. I do not see what WWE sees in Alexa Bliss. I'm so sorry. Yes, she's a gorgeous young woman. she could be something one day, but I just don't know why they're so high on her. When one, she's not the best mic worker. Two, she has a limited moveset. And three, she's not at that star level yet. I don't put her up there with Sasha Banks and Naomi and Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair and all them. I don't put her in that echelon up there with them. So I don't know. I don't even want to talk about it anymore because it's very irritating that they're still backing her and she has not lost yet. I am praying. You know what? Now that she's retained the title, I'm praying that she holds onto the title so that Asuka can destroy her. Asuka will kill her and gain that Raw Women's Championship and hold it for a good long while. Just blasphemy. Just makes me sick thinking about it. I'm going to kind of go off of order right now because there's 3 more matches left. And so I'm going to go to what I think should have been the next match, but it was like second to last. But it was the maid match between Jason Jordan and Elias Sampson. Honestly, it was a fairly good match. Like I said, Jason Jordan is showing off his wrestling background, which he always does. Elias Sampson, hard knocks, tough fighting, boom, 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 boom. Like I said, take the whole drifter gimmick away from Elias Sampson. Elias Sampson can get it done in the ring. He is an awesome performer in that ring, has a solid move set, devastating every time he hits any type of impact move. And he's a great looking guy as far as a superstar goes. So you can't go wrong with Elias Sampson. But in the end, I believe it was Jason Jordan hit some type of move. It wasn't his finisher, but he hit some type of move and basically had Elias folded up. And the way that the referee was, he really couldn't get a full glimpse of his shoulders because he counted 3, but Elias had his right shoulder up. After, I want to say it was right before the 2 count. And the referee never saw his shoulder come up and counted 3, and they gave the victory to Jason Jordan, which I'm pretty sure there's going to be some backlash for that coming up tonight on Raw. But we will get to that tonight. I'm not worried about that. That happened. They just did that to fill the match because they didn't have enough matches on the card. So we move on to what, in my opinion, was the best match of the night. And in my opinion, is match of the year candidate. Dave Meltzer, no disrespect to you, sir. You are the utmost authority on wrestling. But, sir, I have to respectfully disagree with you. I listened to his podcast this morning, and when he told me that it was nowhere near match of the year candidate, and granted, okay, I understand his argument because we've had so many good match of the year matches this year. It's hard to pick, but I believe this match was up there with them, in my personal opinion. And again, I state my personal opinion. This is not facts. I don't know what the credentials are when they pick match of the year. So, again, my opinion. So many good spots. And all right, for one thing, and please, anybody correct me if I'm wrong in the comments below, but I believe this is the first actual meeting between AJ Styles and Finn Balor. So that alone made it that much special for me. Not to mention the fact that AJ Styles, who is wrestling on SmackDown, flew all the way from South America to make the pay-per-view last minute. So kudos to AJ Styles for being the company man. But I digress. Going back to the match. So many good spots in this match. I mean, so many hard hits, so many flips, kicks, punches, submissions, signature moves. I mean, they were flying everywhere. A couple of good spots. The little soccer kick from Finn Balor to AJ Styles from off the apron. The little shotgun kick outside that basically punched AJ Styles into the barrier. And then basically some good sequences inside the ring as well. I think once they got back into the ring, I think AJ might have locked in the calf crusher, kind of messing up on Finn's leg a little bit. That might have been before the punt kick outside and the shotgun kick outside as well. And then there was one instance, I think Finn went for a clothesline. AJ ducked it. Started hitting his little punch combos. He went to go clothesline him, and Finn actually ducked it and hit the little overhead kick. And then there was this one instance, I think Finn was going up for the coup de grace, and basically AJ Styles just hopped up and hit it with a Pele kick, and then basically got on the rope up top and hit him with basically a Frankensteiner off the top rope, and went for the pin after that. AJ Styles goes for the springboard 450, misses that. Finn Balor hits him with the shotgun drop kick into the corner, sets it up, coup de grace, 1, 2, 3. The Demon Finn Balor is victorious. Like I said, man, all in all, probably one of the best matches I've seen the whole year. Definitely the best match in WWE this year. It's up there in the contendership with some of the other matches this year. The Kenny Omega, Okada matches, and some of the other matches from New Japan and Ring of Honor. It's up there with it. This is probably one of the bigger matches that they've had, and hopefully they'll build on it. And of course, after the match, both guys, Finn coming picking up AJ Styles, and probably the biggest pop of the night, Finn Balor, AJ Styles, Too Sweet in the middle of the ring. As a wrestling fan, I geeked off of that so bad. Because I'm so waiting for the club to come back into the WWE. Hopefully we'll get that here soon. So that leads us to the main event of the evening. 5-on-3 handicap TLC match. Sheamus, Cesaro, The Miz. The Miz, Braun Strowman, and the Demon Kane versus the unlikely pairing of Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose, 2/3 of the Shield, and their partner, the Olympic gold medalist, Raw GM, Hall of Famer, Kurt Angle. Now, I was pleasantly surprised with this match. It went kind of the way that I was expecting it to go. The one thing that I felt like we were robbed of was Kurt Angle's entrance into the match. Basically, Miz and his team came out, took over the ring. Then, you hear, the Shield's music go all Sierra, Hotel, India, Echo, Lima, Delta, Shield, bam, 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 which everybody freaks out over. And then you see Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose come through the crowd, stand up there at the top of the steps and everything. And then I don't know whose bright idea it was. Maybe it was Kurt's idea. Maybe it was Vince's or Triple H's, whoever. But Kurt comes in maybe like a couple of seconds later, right behind them, in the crowd in Shield gear. And I felt as though us as the fans kind of got cheated at that point out of a nostalgia moment, because I wanted to see Kurt come out in his own ring attire, his own music, and I wanted him to have his pyro out. I wanted them to have, Kurt Angle come out, not the Shield's version of Kurt Angle. Don't get me wrong, he looked ripped in the dang on outfit. I mean, he's just as fit as he was back in the day when he was wrestling full time. But nevertheless, they come down and immediately start to take over. They surround the ring like the Shield does, and comes in, weapons in hand, and Seth Rollins actually sacrifices himself to the Wolves in order for Kurt Angle and Dean Ambrose to come in with chairs and just start clearing house. And when I say clearing house, I mean clearing house. They cleared everybody out there. Sheamus, Cesaro, Miz, they took them out first. And then Seth Rollins picked up a chair, joined in, and helped them take out Braun, Strowman, and Kane, which they beat them up with the chair so bad, put them on both of the announce tables that were ringside. Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins got two big ladders, climbed on top, and basically dove on top of them, driving them through the announce tables. That was most of the match, the best part of the match. They got back into the ring, and Sheamus, Cesaro, and Miz kind of went off on Kurt a little bit, hitting him with the chairs. Kurt took a lot of hits that I didn't think he was going to take, a lot of bumps. One more notable spot is when Kurt was outside for something, and Braun Strowman basically plows through him, picks him up, and legitly has a table set up outside, legitly runs around the ring, and just drives him through the table with a running power slam. And that essentially takes Kurt out of the match. Now it's 5-on-2. And while they're in the ring, I mean, they are just destroying them. I mean, they're trying to fight back, and they're just taking their turns, just beating on them, hitting them with chairs, doing this, doing that. Now, there was one spot that I kind of felt like they missed the opportunity on, which they tried to make up for it later on in the match, but later on in the match, it really didn't make sense. But there was a point where I think Seth Rollins had jumped on Braun Strowman's back or something like that, or I don't know what the case was. And then Kane comes from behind him, tries to hit Seth Rollins with the chair, but Seth moves out the way, and Kane inadvertently hits Braun Strowman. So Braun Strowman turns around, and him and Kane come face to face. And I felt as though that at that point, Seth and Dean should have laid back and let the fight happen between Braun and Kane. But WWE didn't do that. They had Seth and Dean attack on them while they were distracted, but then ended up getting beat up again. Kane and Braun basically drug Seth and Dean over to the stage area, in which you see The Miz call in for a trash truck. So they both kind of Kane and Braun throw Seth and Dean into the trash truck, but Seth and Dean start fighting back, and then they get on top of the trash truck, and then basically dive on Kane, Braun Strowman, Sheamus, and Cesaro, essentially taking out 4 of the 5 members of the opposing team and leaving just The Miz. So they try their best. They whoop up on The Miz just for a little bit. But then, out of nowhere, Braun Strowman just gets up and just starts demolishing them. I don't know what brought this part of it on, but somehow, one way or the other, Braun Strowman is about to... Well, honestly, if I'm not mistaken, Braun Strowman actually did take out both of those guys. Seth and Dean choke slammed them, or was that Kane? It might have been Kane I'm thinking about. Well, one way or the other, Seth Rollins and Dean got taken out some kind of way. And then, out of nowhere, the monster Kane just blindsides Braun Strowman and then takes him to the opposite side of the stage and choke slams him through the stage. And he wasn't finished there because he kind of, and let's get this right. He kind of stole a spot from John Cena from one of the old TLC pay-per-views. I want to say he was either fighting, it was either Batista, Umaga, or the Great Khali. One of those 3 guys. He basically takes the set of chairs that was dangling and basically yanks it down into the hole on top of Braun Strowman and basically kind of incapacitates him. So they keep going. And I believe at this point, that's when Kane double choke slams Braun and, not Braun, Seth and Dean through a table. Sheamus and Cesaro gets up, helps Kane drag them back towards the trash cans. As they're about to move, dump them back in the trash can, all of a sudden you see Braun Strowman just shake his way out of the pile of chairs and just stumble his way back up. And then him and Kane just start going at it. He basically kind of lays Kane out some kind of way. And then goes back down there and starts fighting with Sheamus and Cesaro. And he's trying to fight them all off, all 4 of them. But then Kane comes in with a big boot, and then they just start banking him and jumping him to the point where they put him into the trash truck and basically compact it with him in it. And that was the last we saw of Braun Strowman. That is probably another spot that I feel like WWE missed on, because I kind of wanted Braun Strowman to break out of the trash truck, like just muscle his way out, and they missed that all the way around. We go back into the ring. At this point, Kane and the Bar and The Miz are basically trying to put away Seth and Dean. When all of a sudden you hear Kurt's music just start, and for a moment I thought he was going to come out in his ring gear, but he still had the Shield gear on, which. It was still a good spot, but I'm hoping for the nostalgia effect of things. But nonetheless, he came back out. Sheamus and Cesaro basically met him at the dang on ramp. Gives Sheamus an angle slam on the floor. Then takes Cesaro, angle slams him through a table. He comes in there and tries to get to the Miz, but then Kane attacks. And then I think at this point, not Sheamus, Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose just come back in and start wailing on him again, beating him up, get him outside, and then basically pays homage to Roman Reigns and double spears Kane through the barricade. So while that's going on, Kurt Angle is in the ring. The Miz sneaks up behind him, hits him with a skull-crushing finale. 1, 2, Kurt Angle kicks out. Just the Miz is beside himself. He hit him with his best move and couldn't finish him off. Boom, boom, boom. I think at this point, the guys come back in, start attacking the Miz. Seth hits him with the little ripcord high knee. Pops it into Dean Ambrose with the dirty deeds. Then pops it into Kurt Angle with the angle slam. They fold him up. 1, 2, 3. Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose, and Kurt Angle win the TLC match. Again, for what it's worth, what they did with the match was very, very good in my opinion. I don't think like I said, again, outside of Kurt Angle coming in with his own entrance music and his own ring gear, I think that was probably the only thing that didn't do it for me. And Braun Strowman not being able to come back and, muscle his way out of the trash compactor. I think that would have been a high spot for them had they did it, but they didn't do it. So, what can I say? But anyway, and basically it just ends the pay-per-view with them standing tall in the ring. Boom, boom, boom. Overall, it was a fairly decent pay-per-view. Not extremely special outside of the AJ Styles Finn Balor match. Like I said, a lot of good high spots in the matches. Overall, I would have to give the whole pay-per-view a solid B. And I'm honestly being generous with that B because I'm just so highly aggravated with the Alexa Bliss match. I really want to give the pay-per-view a C plus. but I'll be generous and give it a solid B. Like I said, good matches. Couple of little filler matches like the Jason Jordan, Elias Sampson match. Really didn't need it. They could have filled it with other stuff, but it's there. It's done now. But like I said, solid B. I'll give it a solid B. And that is basically my review of WWE TLC. Again, this is just a trial. I'm trying to see, what I can do to beef up my subscriptions, my views, and my likes and everything. So I'm trying something different. Trying to give you fans what I feel as though you might want. Again, feel free to comment on this video. I look at my comments all the time. I respond. If you're not familiar with Flawless Victory, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you jam the notification button so you can get all the latest Flawless Victory gaming and entertainment. Also, hit the like button. We're in the business of getting likes. Myself, I do a lot of the WWE 2K18 My Career mode. Me and Ancient will start to do a GM Wars here shortly. Hopefully sometime this week we'll air the draft video. And we'll live stream that one. And then Ancient does his own gameplay. I have some other games that I'm trying to work on. I'm actually working on getting the new Call of Duty World War II. I'm going to give that a try back. I have not played Call of Duty since Ghost. I refuse to play it. Or I did play Advanced Warfare, but Advanced Warfare kind of turned me off of Call of Duty for a long time. Now that they're going back to World War II, hopefully this will be a better game, taking out all the exoskeletons and the ridiculously jumping in the air and killing people, blah, blah, blah. Whatever. I don't want to see that anymore. But I'll be getting that hopefully when it comes out. And I just look forward to a lot of good, decent gameplay. And if you like this on the reviews, I'll start doing reviews on Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and all the pay-per-views. So if you like it, let me know below. I'll start doing more videos of it just to bring you quality programming that you want to see or you want to hear. But until next time, I am AG the Assassin, representing that Flawless Victory Gaming and Entertainment. I thank everybody. I love all my fans, all the viewers, all the listeners. Please continue to show us support. We just recently hit 50 subscribers. I'm very stoked about that. I'm trying to get to 100 subscribers by Christmas time. I tell you what, folks, if you can get me to 100 subscribers by Christmas time, boy, I will make it rain. I will make it rain. Oh, but until next time, thank you very much. Love you all. Peace.